Welcome to Drum Talk, and today we're going to talk about concert toms. And my inspiration for concert toms this week was doing the drum cover of Do They Know It's Christmas, which Phil Collins played wonderful concert tom drums on. Phil Collins is one of the drummers known for concert toms. But the history of concert toms goes way back. It goes way back into the 50s and the 60s, and one of the first drummers to use concert toms was a jazz drummer. And his name was Chico Hamilton. And Chico Hamilton, his whole career, as far as I remember, played concert toms, various degrees of concert toms. And one of the reasons why he used concert toms was because he could put the drums inside each other, made it easier to carry around town, and then it became one of his little trademark things. The guy who made concert toms famous, though, is a drummer named Hal Blaine. Now, Hal Blaine has played on thousands of records, and Hal Blaine is one of my main influences in my drumming career, because my aspirations as a kid was to play like the drummers who played on the Beach Boys, the Partridge Family, the Association, Herb Alpert, and the Tijuana Brass. This was all music that was playing in my house, and I loved playing along to this type of music when I was a kid learning how to play drums. The Carpenters, another big one for me was the Carpenters. I always thought it was a girl drummer in the Carpenters. Well, there was a girl drummer in the Carpenters. Karen Carpenter was a great drummer, but the drummer who was on all the hits was Hal Blaine. Hal Blaine played on a lot of records. Hal Blaine was a session drummer in LA, and he liked to get a certain sound out of his drums. He liked to get that sound where the tom head kind of dipped. Where you hit it and you hear like a dipping sound. Not that out of tune, but that dipping sound. Matter of fact, let me show you what's something. Let's talk about this. See how you tune up a drum? So that dipping sound, if you detune a lug or two, okay, you kind of get a dip. Kind of goes down. And single-headed drums allow you to do that. Get that dipping sound in the drum. Okay? Now, the way Hal got that sound was on a set of timbales. And for years, the early sessions he was doing, he had a Blue Sparkle Ludwig kit that had a 13 and a 16 floor tom, or a 12 and a 14 by 14 floor tom. And he used to bring that to a lot of sessions. But then one day he took a 13-inch timbale and a 14-inch timbale, and he put some legs on the 14-inch timbale, his drum tech did, and he turned it into one of his gigging kits, and it had no bottom heads. With that, he decided he wanted to get a whole octave of sounds. So he talked to his drum tech, Rick, who basically created a set of concert toms for Hal Blaine. And these concert toms were created by Blaine shells. And Blaine shells, okay, were fiberglass. So the first concert tom kit that Hal had were fiberglass. And Hal's kit was the one up here higher, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. There was a 12-inch, a 13-inch, a 14-inch, and a 15-inch. And Hal's original kit was those 7 toms were put around the 13 and the 16 floor tom. Okay? And that set of toms gave him an octave of sound, an octave of range from high to low. And that's what he was going for. And that was the Hal Blaine sound. And he invented the concert tom kit. Now, the Ludwig Drum Company took Hal's kit and called it the Octa Plus. And what they added was 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and a 16 single-headed tom. They called them melodic toms. Now, when I was a kid, I had my first drum kit was a blue Vistalite kit with a 8x12, 9x13, 16x16, 5x14 snare, and a 14x22 inch bass drum. And as soon as I heard about these concert toms, I ended up getting a 6 and an 8 inch concert tom for my 10, so I had 6, 8, 12, 13, 16 was my kit. My blue Ludwig Vistalite kit. And the reason I wanted that was I saw the Carpenters in concert when I was 15 at the Garden State Arts Center, and the Carpenters drummer had a whole set of these concert toms. Okay, it was Cubby O'Brien of the Mickey Mouse Club fame. And Cubby was Karen's drummer. He was the road drummer. And Karen had a clear Vistalite kit, and he had a, I guess a spiral Vistalite kit with blue and clear. And it was wild. He had 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Then he had 16, 18 floor toms, big bass drum, and he just went whipping around the kit. I thought it was the coolest thing. Now, there was another drummer that made clear kits and concert tom kits pretty popular during that time, and that was Billy Cobham. Billy Cobham had a blue Vistalite kit. I remember seeing him on a PBS special, a jazz special. He was playing a Vistalite kit. I don't think it was his kit, though. He played double-headed Fibes Vistalite drums, okay? But I got off into clear Vistalite land for a few minutes there. The concert toms, though, the fiberglass concert toms, was a creation of Hal Blaine. Now, Pearl Drums was coming up in the 70s. And Pearl Drums decided that they were going to make concert toms like they'd seen in America. So Pearl Drum Company was the first drum company to make fiberglass shells concert toms. Not the first drum company to make fiberglass shells. The Fibes Drum Company was making fiberglass shells. Blaine Shell Company was making fiberglass shells. But the Pearl Drum Company in Japan decided to make fiberglass shells. I have two 10s, by the way. By the way, this kit was white. This was a white wrap kit. And I took this kit down to its fiberglass natural state because I had intentions of painting it black. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But the fiberglass drum shell on the Pearl is as close to the Blaine shell as you're going to get. Okay? And Hal Blaine played his Blaine shelled concert tom kit, his monster, he called it the monster kit. He played it without any wrap on it because he didn't want to get any kind of vibrational change to the shells, these fiberglass shells, which have a pitch to them. Okay? So Pearl copied it, but they put wraps on theirs, and they put a lot of different color wraps on their drums, and Pearl was selling fiberglass shells with wraps. And I picked up this kit, I guess it was 2008 or 9. I met a guy named Dan Ratelli. He started the DMR Custom Drum Company. He's made me a couple snare drums. And when I went in Dan's shop, he was buying and selling and trading stuff on, selling stuff on eBay. And Dan had a set of 13, 14, 15, 16 Pearl concert tom. That's what he had. And a 10-inch concert tom, one 10-inch. No 12, no 8, no 6. And I traded him two Paiste Formula 602s, a 19-inch crash, and a 20-inch medium ride for this set of concert toms. And my goal with this was to take these concert toms, paint them black, and put double heads on them. Because there's another famous drummer that had a set of Pearl concert toms that did that. His name is Steve Gadd. And Steve Gadd took a set of white Pearl fiberglass concert toms and put bottom heads on them. And that's where the Steve Gadd drum configuration came with the 10, 12, 13, 14, or 14, 16 bigger shells on stands that he was playing back in the 70s on a lot of hit records. And it was him and Rick Marotta who did this. Now, Rick Marotta took some Gretsch concert toms and turned them into double-headed toms. Okay? And he put that together with a Gretsch bass drum. But so I've seen the progression of the concert tom, because most of the guys didn't want concert toms because it's a one-trick wonder, you know, a concert tom kit. So concert toms give you that dipping sound. Of course, it made muffling rather easy to do. And in the 70s, it was not uncommon to have drums muffled like that, where you had nothing coming out. That was the sound of the drum. It was basically like playing on cardboard boxes, we used to say. And these drums were known to have that sound. So, Pearl Fiberglass concert toms gave you that sound. So, the evolution of the concert tom comes from Hal Blaine, And it goes from Hal Blaine to all the studio guys of the 70s and early 80s. And you would find your Nashville guys had concert toms. Larry London, big Larry London, great drummer, Nashville drummer. In the 70s, he had a whole set of concert toms that he played when he played with Elvis Presley. He had Pearl Fiberglass concert toms that he played with Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley's original drummer, Ron Tutt, had a set of concert toms too. Actually, he had 6, 8, 10, 12, and then he had double-headed toms on the kit for the Elvis show back in the 70s. Like I was saying, many drummers in the 60s and 70s were playing concert toms without having concert toms. One of the most famous ones would be John Densmore of The Doors, who took his front bass drum head off and the bottom tom heads on the floor tom and the 12-inch tom when he was playing with The Doors to make his drum kit, which was a double-headed drum, but he didn't have the bottom rims on it, so they were concert toms. Okay, so it's really a progression of the 70s that brought us to concert toms, but the guy who's really made it famous was Hal Blaine with his Monster kit, and Pearl was copying that Monster kit and making fiberglass toms. So the Pearl Fiberglass concert toms are still today coveted by many drummers. Today, drummers that use concert toms, Taylor Hawkins of Foo Fighter fame, he likes to have some concert toms, a couple high ones. Another guy that has a whole kit of concert toms is the guy who plays with Beck. I think his name is Joey Waronker. And Joey Waronker, he's got a whole concert tom kit, and I think he's got a couple Blame Air toms that he started with. Now he's got some CNC drums, I think it's CNC drums, concert tom kit. And another guy, well, there's lots of guys going to concert toms. They're looking for them. I've been holding on to these concert toms. No one's made me the right offer for them yet, so I haven't sold them yet. And I every once in a while like to throw them up. This week I actually figured out how to mount them a little bit differently. I've got rims mounts on my 16 and on my 15 and on my 14. I don't have rims mounts for these, but you know, I've been thinking about putting Pearl tom arms in them and drilling them and stuff, but I haven't done it. So maybe rims mounts is the way to go. But having a set of concert toms is a nicety to have once in a while. And the fact that I was able to do this video about Pearl concert toms, because I see a lot of guys looking for Pearl concert toms online. And I know that I have a concert tom video I did about a year ago around Christmas time. Just me playing my concert toms, and I shot it with my iPad. And I've got a lot of hits on that video. So Pearl Fiberglass concert toms are something guys are looking for. So these are not for sale right now, but if you message me and you give me the right offer, I might sell you the concert toms. Right now my kit's incomplete. I never picked up a 12-inch tom. I did find an 8 and a 10, and I have two 10s and an 8, and I've still not found the 6. And what guys want for a 6 and a 12-inch tom online, $200 for one tom, is forget about it land, because I didn't spend $300 for these toms with those two cymbals, I don't think, because I got those cymbals pretty reasonably priced, and I traded them. And my 6 and 8-inch concert toms with the stand I got for $40 in 2008. So guys were not looking for concert toms back in 2008 or 9 when I picked them up. So anyhow, I love comments, so if you make a comment, I will answer you. That's one of the things I like to do. I love the YouTube community. And I love being able to share my heart about my passion for drums. I'll put a little bit of my Do You Know It's Christmas drum concert tom thing on the front and back end of this video. I promise to do that. And it will be drums only, because I'm going to monetize this video. Maybe I'll make a couple dollars. I think I'm up to like $6 now. You know, 100 videos at $6. So I'm getting rich on YouTube. I'm only kidding with that. I don't know if that'll make the video either. But Pearl concert toms, going after that Blame Me Your concert tom thing, the Hal Blaine influence. I think Hal's drum tech name was Rick Frochet. I'm always afraid to say it because I hate getting names wrong. I apologize if I butchered anybody's names here on this during this video today. But I just love drums, and I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of my history with Pearl drums. Oh, I left one drummer out. Carmen Appice How could I forget Carmine? Carmine and Concert Toms on the Realistic Rock drum method book. To this day, I use the Realistic Rock drum method. Love the book. I have the first version of it too, by the way, when he had the old mahogany Concert Toms in there. But the second version of the book had a maple Ludwig Octoplus kit, kind of thrown all over the place. So that carbon Apsy's got to be thrown in there. And of course, my famously influenced drummer Danny Serafine played Concert Toms in the 70s. And he used to, I'll tell you my Danny Serafine story. Danny Serafine used Concert Toms on the first album. And I don't know if you guys saw the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show when he played with Chicago. They let him play with Chicago. Wow, that was such an honor for Chicago to do that, by the way. Danny's a great drummer. Chicago's not Chicago without Danny. No disrespect to Tristan Bowden, who I love as a drummer too, by the way. But Danny is a great drummer. And Danny's kit for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame had a 13-inch double-headed tom, and then it had a 12 and a 14-inch concert tom going to the 16-inch floor tom in reminiscent of that Rogers kit he had with a couple concert toms. But Danny Serafine used to use a kit where he always had, I think it was a 10 by 10 tom, and then a regular double-headed 12 and 14 floor tom, maybe two floor toms, 14, 16. So Danny was into it, and then he got the white Slingerland kit with the concert toms. And I think it went 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and they were white. And he had this, one kit had a very short tom, 6-inch tom, and one had a really long 6-inch tom. Other guys with cool concert tom kits. Boy, I guess I'm making this video longer than I thought. Other guys with cool concert tom kits, Nigel Olsson, Elton John. Oh my gosh, he had the coolest concert tom kit. His was 6/8, right next to his hi-hat, deep. So it was like 6 by 12, 8 by 12, 10 by 12, 12 by 12, 14 by 12 probably, and then 16 by 12. I think they're all evened out to 12 inches or something. If somebody knows the answer to that, please don't hesitate to comment on that one. But the Central Park, Elton John in Central Park, he played those concert toms. I love that kit. See, guys from the 70s love those kind of drum kits, big drum kits. Now, as you get older, I will tell you, as you approach 60 like me, guess what? When you approach 60 like me, all of a sudden, carrying a lot of drums doesn't make a lot of sense. I want the smallest kit possible. That's why I got an 18-inch bass drum and a 12 and a 14, and I'm happy as you can ever be, but on a gig. But boy, when I was a kid, you just wanted as many drums as possible. Matter of fact, my first audition for a band I went to, I showed up with my Blue Vista Light kit, my concert toms, and my tom. I had like 7 drums, I guess. 5 toms, 7 drums, and a kick and a snare. And the band didn't hire me, not because of my playing, but because I didn't have 2 bass drums. Which brings me to another guy I missed, Neil Peart. Neil Peart's still making concert toms famous, okay? Neil Peart with his 8, 10, 12, 6, 8, 10, 12 concert toms. Neil Peart's another guy. Forever will be associated with concert toms. Did I hit everybody? That's the question. I don't know if I hit everybody. Anyhow, love drums, love your feedback. Hopefully you learned something here. Maybe some of you guys have something to add to this video. But Pearl Fiberglass concert toms are now things that guys want. Mine are not officially for sale. If somebody makes me an offer, I don't know, maybe. Till next time. Thanks for watching Drum Talk. Have a great day. Bye.